one way to get injured, but it's bloody fun. It's a lovely way to cook your knees and everything.
Welcome back to day 2 of F League 2024. First game of the day, we have Northern Pheonix v FC Carlton Heart, kicking off here 9 a.m. Sunday morning, Mount Evelyn Futsal Stadium. I am Gnomes and I am joined by Ahmed. Ahmed, welcome aboard for day 2 of F League.
Thank you very much, Gnomes. I'm very excited. It's a beautiful court here, one of my favourite courts in all of Australia actually. Lots of futsal heritage here, so it's very beautiful to see that. We've got the F League kicking. Beautiful international court as well, so I'm very curious to see how the girls use that space.
Yeah, I think it's quite the transition once they come across to the big pitch, and you're right, there's a lot of heritage in here, and it's a beautiful court. One of the best, well not one of the best, I rate it, I agree, is the best in the country. Futsal only facility.
I do think probably the biggest advantage is obviously when we go to that international games, obviously the games are on the international court, so having these girls playing on that, it's going to help prepare them for that exposure.
Agreed, and you know, as you're aware, we had the first ever Australian women's team trials here on Friday night, so we had a really good turnout, which was fantastic. New South Wales have done theirs, Queensland done theirs as well, so we look forward in the next couple of weeks to find out who will be on that national team.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic for it. I think it's going to be a great move, building off obviously the Matildas, who have been leading the way in my opinion, really putting the Socceroos to shame. I'm really keen to see how the girls can go. Obviously the Futsaroos have been making some improvements, but I think we've got some really talented female players, particularly in Victoria. So I'm very curious to see how they go and if they can continue those results over towards the Australian team.
Yeah, I would have to agree. We've got some great talent here, and the girls have had quite a bit of exposure on the international circuit as well in the last couple of years, Spain and Brazil, etc. So it'll be good to see that the work the girls have put in being capitalised into the national team. Let's go through a bit of a team list. Who have we got hitting up? Let's start with FC Carlton Heart in the box. They have Zoe Caldwell. At the back there, they have Annabella Yates, young Matilda. On the left side, they've got Ellie Smart. Up the front, Maya Watson Low, and I can't see who's over the other side because my eyesight's not that good. On the other side, I'm not sure.
Big thing to note here is we do see Northern Pheonix. They do only have one player on the bench. I'll be very curious to see how fatigue sets in, particularly as this game does go on.
That's one more than they had yesterday.
Carlton now looking probably just to slow it down. Nice bit of patience. First bit of early possession in. You can see that's the ball they're looking for, trying to find that target. Early chance here. Great ball in, and it's a beautiful save early on. That was a terrific ball in from Maya. Very unlucky not to get that. Carlton Heart, a nice bit of slow build-up in possession. Beautiful ball to the target, and that ball to the back post. Could be a shot here. Lovely cut in. Great shot. Beautiful save.
Annabella Yates. Annabella killing her. Absolutely fantastic with the shots. Big save too from Selena. She's a very young goalkeeper, trying to make her way in the field at the minute. Very good young player.
A little bit disorganised setup there from Northern Pheonix on the corner. Carlton Heart unable to quite exploit it. It's a nice quick and aggressive start from Carlton. I'm really enjoying that. Pressing high, moving the ball quickly.
Bianca going to take this side ball. What Annie can do with this one.
Cracking feet.
Yeah, they say futsal's a great foundation for football, and we see that there's young Annie Yates is one of our up-and-coming young Matildas.
Yeah, futsal, it really forces players to get creative. That tighter distance gives lots more opportunities. A lot more paired movements we see, lots more shots, faster pace. And there's that beautiful diagonal ball again from Mayo, who's finding that twice early on.
Yeah, she's a good player of the ball. Very strong defensively too, young Maya Watson-Lowe. She's had some international experience as well. Unfortunately did not trial for the national women's team.
It's great to see just how many young girls, particularly in Football Victoria, who have actually had the opportunity already to play overseas. I'm sure that will benefit them greatly.
We hope so, we hope so. As we know, it doesn't always translate to a national team selection. We've seen that in the small number of Victorians picked in the national men's team. But we can but try, right?
Of course.
Continue to deliver the best, and we'll...
I think probably Victoria are probably really developing, for me, at the fastest rate that I've seen. I think obviously Scott Rogan was leading the way, and now we're starting to see a lot more players get selected, which I think that pattern will continue to follow.
Yeah, agreed. And we'll see some of those players in the next match, actually, the next match-up for today. Have we gone through the bench yet for Northern Pheonix?
No.
So in the box we've got young Selena. She's a little weapon. Very young, making her debuts in the F League this year. We have number 2 is Annabelle. The banger yesterday, we must have already made the reels. Yesterday, Mariella, then on the left-hand side, striking the ball here is Amy Whiting. On this side, Sammy Lazaris, number 8. They have actually another player still to come running a little bit late. Tanzilla's on her way in here. Have I covered everyone, or have I missed anyone?
And was that in the box? It was a beautiful high press. Definitely a foul in my opinion. Players appealing it, but there was a clear pull of the shirt. I think questions, in my opinion, if that's not a penalty, I think you do need to concede. That's probably a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. In my opinion, bare minimum needs to be a yellow card.
Agreed, yeah.
If not a red card, but no card shown. I think some of these girls have already shown that they can get some very powerful shots. Could be a very dangerous opportunity. Goalkeeper sitting quite centrally. That top left corner really looking open, as is that pass. Beautiful save.
Good clearance there as well. And smart enough to clear it further down the pitch and not just right out where they're already standing and putting themselves back under pressure. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely, very smart. Buys him a little bit of time. Still sitting quite deep. Coach for them to shut the middle, which they are leaving quite open. And now a call for a press. This is what I like to see. Beautiful feet. Lovely
Annie Yates, over the top.
This is what I love to see when we see players pressing and you have players at the backs, particularly that Fixo, with just a beautiful bit of ball ability and composure.
Couple of subs there for Carlton. They've brought on Correa Kino at the top. Oh, a little bit of a yank. That's a strategic foul.
Very smart, and I love those types of plays. A bit of intensity early on.
Nice strike of the ball. Good save there, Zoe.
Now could be a counter-attack here.
Not quite enough weight on that. Not enough hold-up, I don't think, for that player to run through the outside there. Who we got subbed on this side for FC Carlton Hart is Kobe Wilbert. Some fresh faces here for Carlton today. Some of the girls unavailable yesterday, so good to see some extended benches coming in today.
Oh, great feed.
Boy, nice little save, Serena. Should we go through the card for today? Right now we have playing Northern Pheonix v Carlton Hard here in the women's. Right after this we're going to have the Northern Pheonix men play Moreland, which will be a big game on the cards. Dee will be looking to have that closed out. We can see the Moreland crew has rolled into the house. Coffee's in hand as usual. We're going to follow that up. Game in the middle of the day, Fitzroy v Carlton in the women's. That'll be an absolutely huge match. Followed up by Northern Pheonix in the men versus Melbourne Arcu. Melbourne Arcu looking very strong at the minute, both their men's and women's. And that game will be repeated straight after, so it'll be the men's and the women's following that straight away. The final game of today will be the big one, Moreland v Fitzroy at 3:45.
That is a game I'm very excited for. The Melbourne Classico, two of the, in my opinion, the strongest men's team. We've seen them go very hard, lots of experience, some phenomenal players who are obviously a part of the national team. I'm sure lots of other players will have aspirations of making a statement here today, earning their spot. And honestly, I have no idea how that game goes. Very strong teams. I think it's a 50-50.
Yeah, I would agree, actually. They were the grand final matchup in the F-League last year, so there's a lot of points to prove, I think, here on the big court. So it's exciting to watch.
I'm curious to see how Carlton go. They've subbed off Annie Yates here, who early on, I think she's done a great job being at the back, giving them that composure, helping them get out of the press. Good one-on-one, great save again. Beautiful split save, shutting that down. That was a cracking save.
That's one for the reels, that.
Yeah, 100%.
Surely we'll be seeing that on Instagram later tonight.
I'm curious to see now how Carlton sit defensively. I think they were relying quite a lot on Annie as a means to cover that target, who was dropping quite deep.
Tenzel is in the house for Northern Pheonix. Good to see her here today.
There's that target again, a little bit of poor layoff. Could be a chance here, 3v1. Gain, very physical. That's what we love to see.
Great strong target play there. It was very good.
That's a poor place to lose. There could be a chance. Taking the line beautifully. Could be an opportunity for a shot here. Lovely cut in. No one at the back post, unfortunately. They choose to reset. I think they're probably staying quite deep with that box. I would like to see one of those flankers make that breaking run in behind. That diagonal ball, we've seen Carlton Hart find it already twice. I think for me, that's probably going to be on this big court, the ball that you're probably looking for.
Yeah, agreed.
You do need that flanker to be breaking the line, which I think, in my opinion, Northern Pheonix are lacking.
Yes, maybe Coach Charles Lewis down there might bring that in the timeout.
And again, getting low. Perfect save. Great distribution. That's a cracking ball. Just a little bit too slow from the target. I'm a huge fan of this goalkeeper, Gnomes. What was her name again?
Selena, young Selena. Selena Janelle.
Another beautiful save. What a match. And again. Wow. Phenomenal. Gets down so quickly. Shots the nutmegs as well with those knee positions as well. Getting down for the split save. Cracking start.
She's also on the state team this year, which is fantastic at the juniors.
That's phenomenal. Really, really, for me, keeping, and we see a timeout. Going to be called by Northern Pheonix. Let's see what they can be doing here. In my opinion, they could be down 3, if not 4, with some cracking saves. We've seen lots of one-on-ones. The board is out from Northern Pheonix. I'm hoping that we're going to be talking to the flankers, telling them to get high. That's what I'd really like to see. Instructions to get a positive touch forward coming from Carlton Hart. Definitely a fan of that. A little bit more attacking futsal. Focus from Carlton Hart here from the timeouts, really focusing on gaining that territory, looking to get the anchor or your fixo moving out of the back, not playing that static, which we were seeing, looking for that bounce and layoff, which lots of clubs here are very, very strong at. I think Carlton will probably have some success with that. They've been very strong with that target hold-up play, probably just lacking that run through the middle.
He's very fervent in his ideas there, Reece, so it's good to see. Trying to see what's happening on the coaching board at the other end for Northern Pheonix. 5 minutes to go here in this first half of the first game, Day 2, F League 2024.
Side ball here for Northern Pheonix. Not really in too much of a dangerous position, but they do get the shot off. Could be open for a counter-attack here. Target wants it deep early. Great ball. And it's another great save.
She read that really well. Good angle, Selena
coming out very smart. Very important there was coming off the line. We see lots of keepers, particularly outdoor keepers, like to sit on that line. She came out, shut the angle. Great read. Acting almost like that third cover or the fourth cover for the defence.
Yeah, absolutely. Covering the cover are very important, as we know. Here we go.
And finding that target again, but lacking runners still. I think with this goalkeeper, you're probably going to need to commit at least 2-3 runners and find that back post ball rather than relying on those one-on-ones. He's been incredible.
Eva Jan feeding that out. Wearing the captain's armband for FC Carlton Hart today.
Northern Pheonix a little bit disorganised with their structure here.
Annabelle playing in. Wearing the number 2 today. She was in number 6 yesterday. Very good dribble of the ball at the back there for Northern Pheonix. Very classy. I'd like to see her get an opportunity to... Here we go.
Great feet. Could be an opportunity. Great feet again. Unfortunate there.
Yeah, I'd like to see her get a lot more time on the ball, actually, but given that opportunity to dribble forward. She managed that yesterday and scored an absolute banger. Tyler Lewis shouting instructions to his players. A little bit chaotic there, you're right, with Northern Pheonix just chasing their player. Very challenging to do, particularly when you have a short bench and the court is big. Great touch from Bell there to Tans. And See if they can't start playing down the wall. That is a great ball.
They're
But
just struggling with that target who's really crowding the middle. I'd like to see that target probably get a little bit deeper, start behind the defender rather than in the middle of the court.
yeah, absolutely. Stretch it out and
Absolutely.
then drive to the line for that parallel
Could be an opportunity for a back post. There it is, and it's 1-0.
It's an OG too. OG from Northern Pheonix.
It's unfortunate, but I think the main thing for me there was that was the first time they had the back post runner. That ball was definitely not a shot. It was definitely a pass to the back post.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably going to be the way to beat this keeper. A little bit of luck and a bit unfortunate.
Bit of a kick and hope there. Early down 1-0 OG for Northern Pheonix.
Carlton definitely struggling a little bit just to keep the ball and settle. I'd really like to see Annie Yates get back on. I thought that she was the main reason they were keeping it at the back.
Yeah, she's very good. Really good link up between Annie Yates and Maya Watson-Lowe. I think they play off each other very well.
A little bit chaotic with the resets here. Carlton happy to bring the intensity. I'm loving the instructions from the coach, however, on the press. Very identifying the negative touches, and they're reading those cues very well. You see that touch forward? No. Then we're pressing on it. It's beautiful to see. And I think that's probably where they're having a lot of success. A little bit of a bad touch there. But again, great composure, beautiful turn, and just like that, beautiful ball down the line. Could be an opportunity. Keeping it alive. Might be the time now just to reset, and they do.
Eva Jan's covered an absolute mountain of pitch there. She, from one side of the pitch to the other, a lot of running. Yeah, they forget the size of the pitch. She'll be very tired after this match. We are in stop clock time, just over a minute to go in the first half here of F-League 2024, Game 1, Day 2. If you have just joined us, welcome. If you can't be here in person, we're grateful to have you on the live. You can get out here in person. The coffee is great. Oi!
It's another
Great save. Tell you
opinion.
what, if they were paying her on save, she'd be making a packet today.
I think a little bit lucky with that one. She did drop the right leg, leaving that near post, but did recover very well, tipping it onto the post. I think that's probably now the next thing that Carlton will be looking for is getting that near post shot, as she is dropping quite early. That's maybe going to be one little weakness if they can exploit it, but another cracking save. And she's having a phenomenal game.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She won't be happy with herself, or she won't be happy with the having conceded one early, despite it not being her fault in the first one.
Beautiful
Here
read here. Now 3v2. What can they do here? Intercepted, 2v1. Give and go. Can we get the back post ball?
I tell you what, I would have liked to see Bell touch it to the right-hand line here and just dribble around that player.
Yep.
I think that would have been the better way
I
to
think even
go.
taking it wide, draws that defender out, can give a bit more space, which I think is really important.
We're seeing a lot of flailing legs here just at the minute. And Amy Whiting suggesting they should have tossed it over the top, but I think she was on the wrong side of the player to be requesting an over-the-top ball. Bell again, very strong on the dribble.
Doubling up with that cover, which is great to see. I think they've identified her as a dribbler. Very important to make sure we've got cover, and that's half-time. Carlton Hart leading 1-0 thanks to an own goal.
Let's see what they can come back with in the second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're back. Second half. Game 1, Day 2. F League 2024. We're here with FC Carlton Heart and Northern Pheonix. Carlton Heart leading 1-0 after an OG for Northern Pheonix. What's happening here today, Ahmed? We have the state teams training. 17 teams from Victoria going to nationals this year. Obviously, Victoria hosting at Parkville. Some of our younger teams here training. And see a lot of our senior players putting back into the community.
Yeah, it's great to see. We've got also some futsal-roos. I'm thinking if I'm a kid and I want to play, I'd love the opportunity to be coached by a futsal-roo. So it's great to see them returning that back to the community, and I'm sure that will go quite a long way.
Absolutely. We can see over here on the other court, our younger guys over there. I think that looks like our under-12s, to be honest. That's Scott Rogan coaching on that side. And on our left, we've got the 13 girls training as well. And Mary Hewick, who's one of our stalwarts in the women's. Hopefully she'll get a look in the women's national team coaching.
Phenomenal player, Mary. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I rate her as well. Aisha Attic also coaching some of our girls' teams, which is exciting.
A lot more experience than I think lots of people would know. Beautiful, and this is Annie Yates on the ball. I'm very excited to see her. Great feet. Happy just to drive straight at the plays, which I think is really creating that advantage. Target, could be a bit deeper.
Ali Smart, not a bad ball through there. She's a local girl to this area, Ali Smart. Quite a few locals having a run out here this weekend, which is fantastic. Who we got on the pitch now for FC Carlton Heart? We have Ali Smart, Annie Yates, Korea Okino, and Anna Duong. Few substitutions at the halftime break.
Wow, that's clever. That's very clever. It's Annie Yates, and that's very clever. I spoke in the first half about Keeper coming down low, making some phenomenal split saves, and that's a very clever read. We saw there she did drop that leg, trying to anticipate that bottom right. It's a beautiful chip.
Yeah,
and
she'll be feeling that a little bit emotionally there, Selena, but she was let down, I think, by the two players who should have been covering on that side, but let Carlton dribble through them. That was very unfortunate.
Carlton starting off with a very high line. Northern Pheonix sitting very deep defensively as well. They're finding that target, but they've still got no runners. And I think, in my opinion, that this second half could go end up in a blowout. Northern Pheonix looking quite fatigued early. Carlton with the subs. They've got that back post runner looking for that ball. Dangerous ball. Good read.
Yeah, covered well by Mariella there. That is what we needed in the previous play. So it's good to see that they've acknowledged that and she's covered it. Because obviously the keeper can't be everywhere.
Although she has been.
Yeah, she has been everywhere. That's true.
Clever feet here from Annie once again. Loving the patience. They've got the shot. Northern Pheonix really being tested, sitting very deep.
Yeah, they're not necessarily making the use of the entire pitch from an attacking perspective, that's for sure.
Annie Yates, I wouldn't be pressing her.
With very strong feet.
I think if you're Northern Pheonix, I think you really need to be identifying the players and be clear about the doubling up and who's jockeying. For me, number 17, Annie Yates, that's first player who I'm speaking to my players and saying we need to be doubling up, we don't want to be pressing.
Yeah, absolutely.
One-on-one.
She's very strong in that 1v1, isn't she?
There we go. Beautiful strength. Wins the ball, showing the line and forcing it out. And again, setting up quite deep. Very disorganised defence here. Ball wide. Good win, though. Recovering quite well.
And Sammy will bring that back in from the sideline. Sammy Lazaris for Northern Pheonix.
a little bit higher with the target, which is what I like to see, really stretching it. A lot of space in behind, but a large lack of movement.
Just moved too soon, I think, the target for Northern Pheonix there, Amy Whiting.
Wide ball, one-on-one, can take the line, does so. Ball to the back post is open. Oh, a little bit of a trip there, and it's going to go out. No foul there. And that's a bit unfortunate.
That was a very Academy Award-winning dive, I think.
Coaches getting into a little bit of a dispute over it. Things
Some
we
banter.
absolutely love to see.
Some banter, I think. Reese from Carlton Hart decided that perhaps it was a foul. For everyone else, it looked like...
never a foul, never
a
foul.
foul. It was an award-winning dive, I think. We can watch it back later.
Carlton really moving the ball quite well with this top three. Exhausting the flanks, who are having to go from side to side, cover, and we're seeing they're getting a bit slack here.
I'd like to see, particularly with the fact that they have a very small bench, Northern Pheonix, I'd like to see them, instead of chasing the player all over the pitch, because it is an enormous pitch to what they're used to, I'd like to see them just hold the shape, because it's becoming, as you said, Ahmed, quite chaotic, and that is how they're getting touched in at the back post, because they're not sure where the players are, because they're busy watching the player and chasing them around the pitch. They don't know where the ball is.
Absolutely, and we're seeing Carlton take the line. For me, you set up with a half-court diamond, perhaps you really get that second cover, and it really makes it very difficult to play target. Beautiful feed by Annie Yates again. She's having a blinder, in my opinion. Beautiful ball, great interception, and that, in my opinion, would have been another goal.
Yeah, agreed. She's all class, Annie Yates, isn't she? Oh, that actually is a foul when you drop the shoulder there. That's
might be an ankle injury there.
No, she'll be right.
Quite hard. Knee, rather.
She's up. She's fine. Shake it off. She's given the look to the bench. She just needs a moment. I don't think she's subbed off yet, Mariella, is she? She played all the minutes yesterday, I'm confident. She's put it long. Not bad. A target player could have run in there and received that.
And again, we're seeing one player stepping high, just no communication, and they're just getting caught out with this top two and the back two sitting so deep. And Annie Yates again.
Little Meg.
And another one-on-one. Takes it on. Ball. Oh, it's a terrific
Great save. Great run, Annie Yates, too.
Absolutely. Great feat.
All right, we got Bell come out the back. I would have liked to see Bell maybe dribble that there or push it a little wide to Mariella.
I think she's really just focused on making that cover ball. She's already made two crucial interceptions. Looking up at the clock early from Northern Pheonix. Still 12 minutes to go. Fatigue really setting
absolutely.
in.
I think it shows a little bit of inexperience coaching on a big pitch, because the way they would normally play on the smaller pitch in their weekly competition is not necessarily translating to the game on the big pitch here this weekend.
It really is a huge adjustment.
Yeah, I think you can preserve your players. It's okay to play with a short bench, but you can preserve your players by just setting up a little bit more strategic defensively. We see Maya Watson-Lowe now on the pitch for...
Lovely Diag, really using that width. A little bit lack of communication, but I love that. Stretching the court, flank sitting wide.
I'd like to see here some of the local girls that are playing on this pitch all the time link up together on the court more for Carlton Hart.
Who do we have, Noam? So who for viewers at home? Who would you really like to see?
Maya Watson-Lowe, she's a local player here. I'd like to see her on the pitch more, linking up with Ali Smart, who's just come off, because they play together here locally quite regularly.
Carlton doing a great job forcing Northern Pheonix wide every single time, shutting that middle.
Yeah, some of these girls have some big court experience. I'd like to see those.
Another big win.
I'd like to see those girls link up here on the big court, which is great.
Chip ball to the back post. Good physicality, but it's going to go out.
11 minutes to go here in the second half of the first game. Day 2. F-League 2024. Carlton Hart leading 2-0.
Clever turn. Great save. Perhaps rushing it a little bit there.
Yeah, good save. Rush distribution there, I think, from Zoe Caldwell, also a local girl to this area.
I think that's something I see a lot with goalkeepers when they make that big save. They do see the target and they do just release it straight away, not identifying that there are two defenders. You're releasing it to a 1v2. Probably better just to take the 4 seconds, reset, and then go forward.
Yeah, we were actually having this discussion yesterday. 4 seconds is a long time.
Very long time. And
you should use every piece of it.
As a player as well, I'm sure Northern Phoenix will be very frustrated. Wants a little bit more time.
Yeah, agreed. At this point in time, as Northern Phoenix, when you're tired, you'd be wanting that ball when it goes out. You wouldn't want to be rushing it, would you?
Absolutely.
You'd be taking your time to pick it up.
That's clever. A little bit overhit.
But they get it back. So that maybe could have just let that ball run out. And then...
Northern Phoenix definitely bouncing back. They're definitely coming up here, having a little bit more success. If they can pinch a goal, I think they definitely have a good chance. It's still only 2-0. Carlton Hart really needs to be a little bit smarter, but here we go.
She didn't commit there, Belle, which is quite disappointing. Just sort of swung the leg, but didn't actually put the effort in. Let your team down if you don't do your bit, doesn't it?
Yells coming from the Northern Phoenix coach surrounding the intensity. Perhaps could use some subs here. They're looking exhausted, the players out there.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do? 2 minutes? Give them 2, sub them off?
I think
Give them 2, sub them off?
So. I'd be using the timeout as well, giving that 1 minute breather as well. You don't have many players, sometimes that can go a long way. We can see again, one-on-one.
Yeah, strategic timeout about halfway through the half, you reckon?
Absolutely.
And then you'd be leaning into the other team to take a timeout as well, giving yourself 2 minutes of rest time.
100%, especially with a not large bench. That's exactly what I'd be doing, and the players looking really tired.
Yeah, agreed.
Carlton stretching that very well. Could be a ball to the back post. And opting for the shot, in my opinion, not really the right decision. You've got a cracking goalkeeper. We saw Maya Watson at the back post. I love that ball to the back post. It just completely takes the goalkeeper out of the game.
She does really receive well there. She reads the play well, young Maya Watson-Lowe, that's for sure.
And really a lack of movement here from Northern Phoenix. Dangerous toe poke there. Like to see the flanker probably making that run through the middle here. He's standing there wanting it, but really, in my opinion, needs to have a check or something. Comfortable save here, and now taking that time, and that's much better now. Taking that time buys the players a little bit more time to reset, and now can they use it? Looking for that diagonal ball, Mayer. Unable to read it there, but I think that's definitely the ball that they're going to have success with, especially when you see Northern Phoenix, the fatigue starting to set in. They're definitely going to be leaving that middle open a lot more. Clever chip. Passing on the court, Carlton emerging.
Oh. Here you go, Bell on the front. Mayer just defends well, chest to the ball. Just what we want to see. Oh, the battle there to try and get it at anyone's feet. Here we go. Just quite rushed, isn't it?
Oh, it's another cracking save. A beautiful read there. She committed. I spoke in the first half about how she was leaving the near post, and there she got completely rewarded for it. I think if she shot the near post, there was no way she was getting there. That was going bottom bins.
Yeah, agreed. She's read that quite well.
Another one-on-one. And another beautiful read, again, coming off the line and acting as that defensive fourth, third, second cover, however you want to see it as. And another cracking
she's
save.
Saving everything. She's unreal. I tell you what, she'll have some reels from today, won't she?
100%. Doesn't look impressed at one bit nor phased, but let me tell you, I think she's having an absolute blinder.
Yep, agreed. Absolutely agreed. She has to be feeling let down here because she's having to do a lot of work.
Now, this is something I'm very excited to see. I saw Maya Watson and Annie really linking up, finding lots of diagonal balls, both on the court, and I think this could be problems for Northern Phoenix. Playing it wide, and there's the ball, and it's Maya Watson, and that's that square ball completely taking the goalkeeper out of the game, and it's Maya Watson, and that's 3-0. The timeout called, in my opinion, a little bit too late now. Probably could have used with that. Probably 3 minutes ago, like I spoke about, with the fatigue really setting in. And I think Carlton Heart are probably now going to be in a very, very comfortable position. High fives all around from their bench. They're looking very relaxed. Northern Phoenix players looking absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, look, what do you think? Like, you can see Selena's face. She's looking absolutely filthy.
Yeah, she's not looking impressed. I think she's had a blinder, and I think on a personal level she can be very proud of this performance. But obviously,
Agreed.
it is a team sport, and I'm sure she's going to be thinking about the final result.
Yeah, surely she's got to be feeling let down by the girls who are just not defending.
No, and I think that square ball again, we really saw that defensive, that diagonal player, I think it was the left flank, not tucking in, leaving that back post option. Mayo obviously sitting very far in behind, which he's been doing all game, which really creates that space. And there's just so many great dribblers from Carlton. I think it's really great to see, but Northern Phoenix, I'm not really too sure what they're going to be able to do here. I'm curious to see, but the players, in my opinion, not looking too receptive.
There's plenty going on.
5 minutes to go to score 3-0. It's going to take quite a lot. I would imagine there's probably going to be calls to press from Northern Phoenix, which I don't think is going to be yielding as much results as they think, considering Carlton Heart have got some fantastic dribblers.
Yeah, I would have to agree, actually. But Tyler Lewis trying to give some hot tips to the girls from Northern Phoenix.
And unfortunately, Maya Watson brought off. I was quite keen to her and Annie Yates only on the pitch for about 20 seconds before they were able to get a goal.
Just confirming the score with the timekeepers.
Timeout ended. It's going to be a Northern Phoenix ball. I'm curious to see what the instructions were and how they impact the game here, but I do see, unfortunately, Carlton Heart grabbing another goal. I would anticipate.
I'm not sure what the setup there is. That they've just left this whole side open. Northern Phoenix,
really committing down
just
that one
playing
flank.
half a pitch. Not sure what's going on there. I'm not sure.
Oh,
my days! I take it back.
That's a banger, really. And in my opinion, I think they were looking for the diagonal ball. And I think that was probably the instruction to play it back and look for that diagonal ball to the back post. But instead, it's an absolute banger.
She scored a screamer like that yesterday as well.
And that's huge, a huge goal. Weird setup, committing fully down the side, overloading. The target was happy. We had the flanker leave that ball, the target bouncing it back, and that's a cracking goal.
It is. I take back what I said. But in saying that, I don't want to see them play in half a pitch for the rest of the match.
No, definitely not. But
it worked one time. I don't think it can work again, surely.
It's a huge result. And now Northern Phoenix on the attack. A bit of momentum here. Carlton looking a bit rattled. Now here it is. Annie Yates, 2v1. Happy to square it.
Great crossing it off. Oh. Eva Jan just missing the tap in there. But great run again from Annie Yates.
I think if I'm Annie Yates, I'm furious that she's not bouncing it back again. To that
agreed.
back post, and just a nice easy 1-2 around both players and the goalkeeper.
You got to have patience there, right? When you're 2v1, draw the keeper and then wait your time and then pop it in behind.
100%. And when you've got a goalkeeper who's coming off the line, I think it's very important. Coming off the line again, and it's another great save.
She's for a young girl, she's very smart, young Selena. She plays well. Unfortunately, she's not being supported so far in the game defensively. So hopefully this second half, the second half of the second half sees them do something magical here and work out some defensive structure.
Setting up in a little bit more of a Y, it seems, from Northern Phoenix, which is giving them that cover, which I'm liking to see. See Annie Yates trying to isolate that 1v1, recognising the covers they're choosing to reset. Very, very intelligent play. And I think she's probably going to be looking for some more isolating. Little bit disorganised from Carlton. Breaking here. Could be an opportunity for another shot. Chooses not to.
Again, pushing themselves all the way wide on this side, leaving the other side totally open. 3 players on the left-hand side in the pocket there. Tenzilla just taking a moment to tie up her shoelaces, giving the rest of her team a little rest. The score currently 3-1. Some discussion between the referee and the coach from Carlton Hart around time of the side ball.
I think he was just trying to get the player to step back, which I think
Yeah,
he
he
was
absolutely
trying to
was.
explain there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, just explaining
He's
it.
absolutely right
Yeah.
in doing that.
Agreed.
I think if the player stands close, you definitely need to be setting up before the timer goes. Better play from Northern Pheonix now. Lovely parallel ball.
Anyway, cutting
Bouncing
back.
into the middle. Now 1v1. This could be a big moment here. Wow, it's a beautiful toe poke into the far corner. No chance with the goalkeeper. Committing too many players forward, and Northern Pheonix punished with the counter-attack. And Carlton Hart, I think that probably is going to be game, set and match 4-1. And it's a cracking strike. And that's what we don't see enough of, in my opinion, in the outdoor game. There we see lots of players, they're happy to use the inside of their foot, trying to curl it. There we see a player happy to take the toe poking it, getting so much power and able to find that far corner. It's a cracking strike.
Yeah, I agree. Disappointing that some of the Northern Pheonix players just did not make the effort to run back when Eva Jan got the runaway.
No, and I think that fatigue really setting in. They were really committing the players. It was a nice bit of play, but they were punished for the counter-attack, and that's futsal.
It
you
is,
have
absolutely.
have to be up, down, and ready.
Yeah, it's their inexperience on the big pitch is starting to show here, I think. And as you said, the fatigue. Just not, if you're going to have a short bench like that, you've got to manage the fatigue of the players in a different way.
Yeah, and I think like what you were saying, Gnomes, with the tactics, I think recognising those things early. I think now Carlton sitting deeper, which I think is definitely an instruction, and I think they're recognising that they're tired. For me, Northern Pheonix, probably in the first half, sit half court, save the legs. If you don't have the bench, that's a really, really important thing, especially on this big court. Recognising that sometimes there isn't a need to press.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely on this big court with a short bench, no, I don't think that there's a need to just follow the player, because it just makes you tired.
I think man marking is definitely starting to fade out of the game. I think it's very important, though, to be coaching those cues as to when is the trigger for a press.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
saw Carlton Hart really doing a great job in the first half, recognising that negative touch and forcing them back, like we're seeing now. Dropping off well. Great diagonal ball.
Let's see this from Bell. Oh, it's just run away from her there. That is unfortunate. If she had a little left foot there, she could have popped that in.
Smarter decision from the goalkeeper. Thought about going long. I, as a player, I must say, I really dislike when goalkeepers are going great feet, and it's unlucky with the way that toe poke again. In my opinion, definitely the smart decision to do. I love that toe poke.
Yeah, so do I. I do quite enjoy a good toe poke as a shot. Strong.
Wide ball, diagonal, and ball down the line. Better movement. There's the diagonal. Much better movement from the flanks, really breaking the line, which is giving them a lot more runs, but obviously does leave them open to the counter-attack.
Selena's coming out of the box. She's checking the clock. She might be able to, thinking she can cut the angle before it gets the goal, before they get an opportunity to shot off here.
I think she's perhaps anticipating the counter-attack that could come and stepping a bit higher.
Yeah.
Very intelligent.
I do like, well, you know that, I do like a keeper who plays out of the box. It gives you a little bit more on the pitch.
I think in the modern game, particularly in futsal, it's so important to recognise that we're well past the days of having a goalkeeper just be a shot stopper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need to be acting as that cover, as an outlet for the players to be playing back and then opening up wide.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more. Here we go, playing out from the back, FC Carlton Hart.
A little bit complacent here from Carlton, looking, for, in my opinion, just to wind down the clock. I'd like
and
to see them
down the side, but
I'd like to see them really go for it and start getting the goal difference, start thinking about the rest of the season. Obviously, this isn't a cup game, this is a league. So I do think goal difference, very, very important. I think when you've got
I think it will be.
team,
By the time we get around to sort of next weekend or the weekend after, whenever it is, those points are going to be very important. We've had a few close matches yesterday in the women's. So I think goal difference is going to be a big
Yates,
thing.
beautiful feet, great ball, and it's Annie Yates isolating one-on-one, and that's cracking. Feinted the cut in, and we've seen her cut in so many times. Happy to do it, and there the feint cut, ball down line, and that square ball again. That's now twice they've had beautiful success, taking the keeper completely out of the game. Frustrations for the player beaten. There was no cover once again, and in my opinion, that's because they're setting up in a box, right? You really need to be setting up, like you're saying, in a diamond, or if you've got that Y, you need that back player, your fixo, to be understanding their roles of cover. No cover, taking down the line, square ball. It's a really clever goal, but I think Carlton Hart really in complete control, executed great, and Annie Yates, cracking player. She's had a phenomenal game. Well.
And just hit the feet of the Correa Aquino there, which was lucky because she fumbled it a little bit, but it went in. So
absolutely.
Great. Just great work. I can't say enough good things about Annie Yates.
Nice dummy. Looking for another moment of brilliance. Unfortunately, a little bit too close. Maybe more shooting in their half would yield those types of results.
Yeah, leaning back a little bit too far, so got far too much lift on that ball.
Final minute to go, 3v1. I'd love to see another goal here. Could be an opportunity for the back post. There it is. And it's off. Oh, no. She's missed it off the post.
Ali Smart set
she
that one up.
She knows it as well, jogging back. And that really could have been a nice goal to see it off. Very clever use of that 3v1. Not selfish from any of the players.
That'd be a fine, you'd think, wouldn't it?
Laughs all around. Very relaxed from the Carlton players. But I think they do recognise. Lucky that it was today when they're in control. Annie Yates, ball down the line, wants to bounce pass, does receive it. One-on-one now, could be an opportunity for a shot. Push in the back, not called by the refs there. Goes out for a corner. Chooses to go back. Annie Yates again. Trying to square it, and she's been loving that ball, using both feet. I think she's a phenomenal player now.
She's class, isn't she?
Did you mention that she was part of the Young Matildas as well?
She is part of the Young Matildas. Is from regional Victoria, young Annie Yates, and she up in the Murray region of Victoria, part of the Young Matildas program yet again.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
and is she part of the Nationals, the Victoria State team this season?
That's a very good question. I believe she has been in the past few years. Whether she was available for state team selection or not this year, I'm unsure with her other international commitments. But I will double check that for later today's game.
I'd love to see how she goes in state competitions. I think she's phenomenal.
She's been a stalwart in the Vic State teams for all through the juniors.
Great ball.
She's brilliant. Oh, sloppy touch, Ali Smart there. She won't be happy with herself.
No. And you can see there, Carlton easily could have had another two. That fatigue really setting in. Last 10 seconds. Long ball, clever ball. Very well cut out. Last 7 seconds here. Can Carlton grab another one?
Or can Northern Pheonix pop one away?
Nice 1-2. Chooses not to go for it. Ball wide. Can we get the square ball? Great save to see it off. And that's going to be match done. First game of the day, ending 5-1 to Carlton Hart. What are your thoughts, Gnomes?
I think we're in for a long day. That's what I think we're in for. Do Carlton play again today? They do. They play again at 11:30. So they've got a match off, and then they'll play again. Northern Pheonix will play again at 2 o'clock. So you'd think they want to be taking some time out to prepare themselves, as we will be before this next men's match. So don't go anywhere, folks. Jump on the next stream. We'll see you for Northern Pheonix men's v Moreland momentarily.